2, 1.
Hey,
What's up, everybody?
what's up? What's up?
Come on in the room.
Come on in the room.
Come on in the room.
The
Class
Classy
is now in
Exchange.
session. Come on, classy mates. No.
The Classy Exchange in the building.
Hey, classy mates.
Come on in.
We are going to wait for a few more people to join us on this live.
Listen, y'all, we talking about dating in 2022. I know y'all ready to chime in. It's going to be good.
Y'all been talking about it's hard out here.
It's hard out here for a pimp when you're trying to get that money for the rent. No.
Y'all say y'all been picking up turds and stuff out the pool.
That's what they say.
I'm
Come
trying to
on
understand.
in, y'all.
Turds and high acidic piss. Kind of like the drink color.
You said high acidic piss.
high acidic.
The
That
kind that stink.
Yeah, the pH
Bad.
is high. It's like at a
Hey.
14 on the pH scale.
Mm-mm-mm.
Come on in
Come
the
on
room,
in.
y'all.
As you enter, there is a basket to your left and your right. It's called likes and shares. Please make sure that you like this show, share it as well, and also, if you can, comment. We want your comments throughout this show this evening.
Come on
Yes.
in, y'all. Come on in. We ready to get into this conversation tonight.
So while we wait on them to come in,
Yeah.
does anyone want to talk about their weekend? Because I have a lot to say. So
We'll let you go first.
So first,
Me either.
Friday, Friday,
Mm-hmm.
I went to the spa boutique
She came to me.
Ow.
owned by our very own Tanisha,
Yes.
and I got sugared.
Father God, she said it correct.
Yes, I got sugar. And for those of you who don't know, that is a form of a Brazilian. And what I will say is it wasn't the easiest for me, but Tanisha was extremely professional. She explained everything. She made sure that I was comfortable. At one point, I made her blood pressure a little high.
Okay, I was about to pass out. My sugar dropped, blood pressure went up.
And we actually went in, Jalissa and I went in as buddies. So,
Oh, you
Jalissa
got
went-
sugar too?
Yeah, I
Okay.
did.
Tell
Yeah.
about your experience.
I liked it. I mean, not like. I mean, it was all right.
You like
The
that?
aftermath was like, okay, cool. You know, I was feeling myself. So
But it hurt.
definitely, now I'll do it again. I mean,
Okay,
I heard
cool.
it, but you know, it was like that. You know,
Does
it's
it
worth
make you
it
feel
kind of
sexy
thing.
though to have it done like afterwards?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you do.
I feel real soft.
I'm just saying, I feel some type of way that I wasn't invited to go to because
Oh, it could have made it a throuble.
right.
We
I
could have
wanted
had
to
a
get
trifle.
sugar too, but I didn't get the invite.
Listen, the invite is there for you. Come put the look. Come on,
Okay.
I'll
Okay.
sugar you.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, so it was the one thing that I really, really appreciated was how calming you were throughout the process. Because y'all know I don't like pain. So
She was so dramatic, y'all. She
Yeah.
being humble right now. She didn't bring this
That was-
this humbleness to her appointment. She
No,
being
not at
very
all.
humble right now. She was completely dramatic. So
I showed my husband the video. He said, "It looks like you're having a baby or something."
Yes.
So I was,
Were you screaming?
I was struggling, but I don't like it. But that had nothing to do with how well you did. You did an
thank
awesome
you.
job.
Yeah.
And so this weekend was my anniversary,
Oh.
and
Congratulations.
thank
Yay.
you.
Happy
13
anniversary.
years,
13.
13 years. So my
Yeah.
husband was very pleased with your results.
Yeah.
Okay.
Husband.
We do.
Husband.
We do want to say thank you.
You're welcome. Husbands, if you got that wife out there that you want to, shellac her down a little bit, go on and send it to the spa boutique. We'll get that Brazilian sugar. Yes. And wives, we do husbands as well. Sugaring.
There you go.
Yes.
So it's called a manzillion.
A manzillion,
When
yes.
the guys get it, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
And then
You
I
take
want
hair
to.
from everywhere?
Yeah,
What
from
happened? What was your
the-
question, Bronson?
You say hair from everywhere.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Men come get their chest done. Now, if you're talking about a manzillion, then yes, the scrotum, if he has hair on the shaft, if he has hair, at the top part, all of that is removed.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right.
Y'all got real technical just then.
Yeah,
Scrotum.
right.
I want to come out
The people
like
wanna
I'm
know,
talking to
you
a
know?
potential customer.
Yeah. And that's another thing. You were using certain words because I remember at one point just was like, "What does that mean?" But you're really professional.
Yes.
So this weekend, taking up a little bit more time only because my husband really showed out for our 13th anniversary, and he really surprised me all the way through with some of the things that he did. So I won't go into a lot of details, but I will say it was like a whole role play setup thing that he did.
Aw,
So
way to go, husband.
yeah, it was really nice.
Way to go.
Wow. And then he had bought her outfits and
Oh,
everything.
Okay,
It was like,
dress their shoes.
open the
Yes.
box and
Yes.
So it was like a Pandora's box, and the Pandora's box gave me instructions that I had to follow.
Nice.
Now, one of my outfits was super cute, but it was tight on mama's, hips and butt. And before I left, I busted it. And so
busted wide open.
busted wide open. So
Tell 'em bring it
I started sweating because, he was waiting on me somewhere and I was trying to follow instructions. I had to call my sister to come help me and rescue me. So Tim was on the phone too. I was nervous.
And
I
giving
didn't know what was going on.
encouragement. Yes. Listen, husbands. Derek, if you teaching classes, let us drop your classes on the live. We can get you
Yes.
some other men out there who need to take your class.
Yes.
'Cause you
Next-
did good, sir.
And next time, just inbox one of the friends and make sure you got the right size.
But it was actually the right, it was only tight right around here. It
I
was
saw that fried chicken you've been eating.
That means it wasn't the right size. I'm just
I needed to
saying.
lose about 5 pounds. You know how mom used to do when you was young? You just lose 5 pounds.
You probably went in your closet, saw your sizes, and then just thought that's what it was.
That's
It
true.
was them
but we
old
fluctuated.
clothes.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, nice.
That's true. But when you got like
There, we got
happy
you assistant to
sisters and
teaching the class.
people who like fluctuate and weight,
Yeah.
you
Yes.
gotta,
You gotta
where you
look
at today?
Because
Right.
them
Look
10
through a
pounds
couple
can,
sizes.
them
Yeah.
10
Yeah.
pounds can take you from a large to extra large,
Real
or
quick.
medium to a large. So
Real quick.
sometimes
Yeah.
you got.
I could have just bought your sundress. Those fit
Oh,
no matter what.
Yeah.
That's true.
I love a good sundress.
I do too.
I love a good dress.
I do too.
Yeah.
What about y'all? What was y'all weekends looking like?
I had a good weekend. We'll just leave it at that. Just leave it at that.
All right.
I feel like I'm always doing mommy duties. My son's birthday party was
Yes,
on
happy
Saturday.
birthday.
He turned 9 on the 13th. So
Always in big.
I know there was a birthday party. His mom threw him a birthday party at the colony. So we all went. It was a good time.
Oh,
So
nice.
happy
That's
birthday, Camden.
Happy birthday, Camden.
Birthday.
And then today I just rested most of the day. I've been tired. So, sometimes you just got to get those days in when you get rest.
Yes, ain't nothing wrong with rest.
Nothing exciting, just
What about
mommy
y'all?
life.
How was y'all weekend?
Do you want to introduce? I guess.
Oh,
yes.
I don't feel like everybody family, so I don't even think we introduce ourselves.
Right.
Let's do our introductions.
So I'm Kim, the one who has an opinion on everything.
Everything.
Jackie,
Right.
we gonna
Oh,
introduce
I'm,
ourselves.
okay. I'm sorry. I'm Jay Briscoe. I always come in with my athleisure wear line, but it's F40 athleisure wear, and I'm the mommy of the group, I guess. I'm always busy doing mommy duties.
Man, I have
What?
4 kids. I'm not quite sure how you remind me of the group.
My kid with his daddy.
Listen, I got a kid in football, karate, track. I'm just trying to figure out where
I'm
she
just
just
trying to say she used that as her excuse.
yeah, all the
just
time.
saying.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Where my kids locked in the closet somewhere? I was trying to figure it out. Go to
And it's your girl Tanisha. You already know who I am. I am the owner operator of the Spa Boutique, as well as ReadyForBed.com for the freak between your sheets.
I said it
Mm.
too early. Ow.
Okay,
But
let
somebody hacked my my
no.
boutique page. So
You
that's why I
lying?
didn't yes. That's why I didn't send you the
Mm.
connection information.
Okay.
So I've been working on that behind the scenes, trying to retake back my site.
Some hackers is mad.
Okay, one of them Asians.
So this is our guest who actually was with us. Was
Last
it last week?
week, yeah.
Yeah.
And he on again.
And by popular demand, we have brought this brother back.
Yes.
This is Bronson. You want to tell us a little about you, Bronson?
Like I said before, I met these two in high school, and we always been great friends. I'm getting to know her. And
Somehow they say they just met, but I don't know how they coordinated.
They coordinated today.
They
I think I need to switch my chair.
hey, I just want to send a happy birthday to my best friend K-Lock.
Oh,
Oh,
happy
happy birthday,
I
Kayla.
enjoyed kicking it with you last night, bro.
Why we didn't get the invite?
Hey, happy birthday.
Pulled up.
Yeah, y'all could have.
That's a
There was
shame.
plenty of drinks.
I thought you said you was getting to know us.
Well, you know,
Yeah, we didn't get no invite.
no worries. There'll be plenty of opportunities.
All right, moving along. Who this beautiful is this?
Okay, I'm gonna introduce myself. Okay.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Jalissa. I've been knowing what Kim, me and her were friends, and then Jackie
Mhm.
kind of adopted me, so I'm like the little sister.
Yes.
I don't know what else to say.
Well,
First time.
She's on the show today, her and Bronson, to help us discuss dating in 2022, as well as Tanisha. These three are single, so they have a lot to say about dating in 2022.
Yes.
I got married in 2018, so I'm not far removed from the dating scene.
It's
but
way different. Them 4 years,
has
post COVID
changed.
dates is
It has
completely
changed.
different. It's harder.
really,
Listen, I'm scared to date again. Dudes be having 3 girlfriends,
What?
a wife, 6 baby mamas, and a purse.
and immersed.
Or merch. It's different. It's different.
You gotta get it where you fit in then.
No. Mm-mm. Listen, I will move real quick.
Move around real quick. But
Oh,
before we
man.
get into that conversation, I wanted to kind of touch on. Did y'all see that Khloe Kardashian she has a surrogate, right?
Oh
Mhm.
yeah.
And she's supposed to be having another baby by Tristan Thompson, the first baby's daddy.
Oh,
So that just arose the question to me: is it better for? Because we all have kids,
Yeah.
right?
mhm.
So is it better for a person to have kids by the same father, or is it better to have multiple? Have a kid. What am I trying to say?
Have multiple men for your children's
Yes, if
father?
it doesn't work
Yeah.
out with the father, because we all know that Tristan cheated on her numerous times, and they have a lot of relationship issues.
Right. I'm gonna get my take. You know what I said. Self said to self way back when. I already know what I was getting with my baby daddy. So if I wanted another one, might as well go back and have one with him. You know, versus having the chance of having multiple
Yeah.
potential deadbeats. Because you know they don't all start off that way. Whatever. He's gotten better though. Shout out to
You said
Kevin.
potential bed with-
Shout out to Kevin. He's gotten way better. He actually got Cornell right now. But now my viewpoint is different.
Uh-huh.
I'm probably revisiting back team vasectomy. So
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, are you?
yeah. Yeah, I'm back on team vasectomy.
You made it back to TV.
I'm back. It's,
No.
What made you change your mind?
it's just safer that way.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
safer that way.
Well, I actually feel like I wouldn't want to have kids by the same father if he's no good. If he's cheating and he's not being faithful and he's not able to show those kids what they need to see. My kids having the same last name, like that's not as important to me as them having that
Man.
stability.
Yeah,
Right.
So
I agree.
if it's better for me to move on and remarry and have kids with someone else, I would prefer to do that than just having my kids by the
So
same
you think
man.
it was social pressure that caused her to do that?
I don't know if it was necessarily social pressure. I'm sure she may still have some feelings for that man, and a lot of women make emotional decisions based off of still having feelings for that
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
It could be that she wants her kids to. Some people want their kids to look alike, want their kids to have the same last name. Like those things are really important to me. But I feel like the most important piece is what that man brings to the family. And if he's not providing for the first child, then what makes you think he's gonna do for the second child?
You
It's
know what
just-
they always say? The baby daddy always got access to the baby mama. So this
I
might be.
completely disagree. with
I
that.
disagree too, but this might be one of them instances where he still had access.
But because he's not like a good man, that doesn't mean he's not a good father. You know, because we don't
Yeah.
really know. Like he
Yeah.
may be all that is. He's just not good for her.
Yeah,
Because I can honestly say, like me and my baby daddy, we don't have the best relationships together.
right.
But my son adores his dad.
But even though you guys are not together, would you have another baby by him just so that your
If-
kids can have the same
Like I always
father?
said, because I always wanted another child. So if I could never find nobody, then like I would have another baby with him. But like I don't want to do the action to have baby with him.
What you want him to put his name
Like
in
let
the
me just get like give me another one.
So you like a Chloe, pretty much.
Put them in a cup,
Yeah.
pop it in there, and give me a baby.
Listen,
But
turkey
like,
bacon is real.
Listen,
yeah,
I'm gonna say it's completely different. So with my oldest, I was a single parent.
Yeah.
Having like my husband there to support me while I'm having it's completely different. Like I depend on him for so many things that I
Mhm.
used to do on my own. That now when I look at it, it's like I do not want to do that on my
Yeah.
own. So I couldn't see
And
just
that's like
having a
part of-
baby by
Yeah.
somebody just to have a baby.
And see, that's a part of me why I revisited the thought of having a kid. Is
Uh-huh.
because, you know, to be able to share in that experience. But it's just like,
Yeah.
Do you really want to do all that work by yourself?
No, I
No.
mean honestly, that's why I don't really want another kid, right?
Yeah.
You know, but like
that's
I always
exactly
said,
why
if
I
I
don't
got
want
if I got
another.
married, I
I
would
do it by
definitely want to have
myself.
that experience because I mean, like when I think of it, like I always refer to my son as like my survival child because we
Yeah.
like grew up together because it was kind of like rush mode. But
Yeah.
if I did do it, I would want to do it the right way. Like I don't want to have a baby until we
Definitely.
are married and
Yeah.
you know
Yeah.
have those conversations.
Okay, I have a question. Does being married before you have a baby, is that important? You will risk not being married, right?
Mhm.
You will give up being a mother because you're not married. Is it that important? Because you might get too old and then you can't have kids.
That's a great question.
I agree. I mean, but I feel like when it comes to that, I already have a kid. So it's not like if I don't have any more, I'm cool with that because I have experienced that. So if I have another one, it has to be like, I'm just not going to be nobody else's baby mama. Like, no, that's not happening.
Okay.
So, but I don't know. Like, I mean, I have friends that don't have kids and they're waiting.
Well,
and
that's
Yeah.
a question directed towards because
yeah.
What do you
you know, people want to be married and have a kid. I'm just like, you don't have to have both. You can have an amazing guy to have a kid with, and y'all just be great co-parents.
But I feel
But
like,
I think for me, it's like, why don't you want to get married? I think you have to understand the situation. Do you want to be in a co-parenting situation? Because you can co-parent, that doesn't necessarily mean that you guys are together. So I think it really just depends on what you want as a woman. Like for me, with my next child, I
But
knew
don't say
that
as a woman, say because it's two people involved in that.
what you
making a
want.
baby.
Well, as
You
a
can only
woman,
move from a
right?
woman's
I can
perspective,
only
though.
speak from what I want as a woman. So,
Yeah.
as a woman, I knew that I wanted to be married when I had my next child, and so I waited till I was older till I got married. But a lot of the things that I'm getting now, that support and that love, I'm getting because I'm married. Because a lot of times when you just have babies with somebody, you don't get that support and you don't get that.
I agree with
Mhm.
that. I'm just saying, like sometimes, just a piece of paper is. Do you want to sacrifice being a mother just because you don't have a sheet of paper?
But see,
I wouldn't look at it as sacrifice being a mother just for a piece of paper. There's so much that comes with being married.
Okay.
Now, to your question, because I'm almost 40 and I did, reconsider having children, I'm like, okay, my biological clock is ticking. If I am going to have some kids, I would rather have them sooner than later.
Mhm.
And if that meant me and my husband or soon to be husband did it before we got married, I was kind of okay with that. But at the same time, marriage will have to be the goal for me to give you
But
some more
Can I chime in
or
on-
give you any.
on that? I think when you are when you're younger, me personally, I think all kids need a mother and a father. But if for whatever reason you choose to raise your child single-handedly, you will hope that it's the best situation. So financially, you can take care of your child. You have the time to invest in your child. For most people who become single parents, a lot of us were young and you're still trying to figure out life yourself, and your
Mhm.
finances ain't necessarily where you want them to be. You're relying on extra people like maybe mom, dad, or grandparents
Right.
to kind of assist and bring your
Right.
child here and
Yeah.
there. So if you're like 40 or 50, right, and you're like, I haven't had a kid and I want to have one, whether it's through adoption or you naturally birth one and you're in a position to do so, I wouldn't tell someone what to do or not to do. But I do feel like all kids need a mother and a father.
Mother,
Well, let
definitely
me
need
say this.
both.
I don't like when people say just a piece of paper. Like, oh, you got a degree, that's just a piece of paper. Or,
Mhm.
oh, you got a marriage certificate, that's just, it encompasses more than just a piece of paper. That piece of paper is what you legally need, or that piece of paper, when you have a degree, is something people need to see for you to do. But the work that went into getting that piece of paper and to making it work is a lot deeper than just a piece of paper.
yeah.
So it's not really just a
But
piece of paper.
But you're not earning a marriage license. All you got to do is go down to the city hall and sign some paperwork.
That's to
That-
get married, but to have a
Right.
marriage,
Right.
You
I said
earn
get
your
married. I said
right.
get married.
And I think in
But-
our Western society, we don't fully think about marriage all the way and what it
Yeah.
entails. And so we don't think about the circumstance of life. So yeah, it's easy to get married, but if you want a marriage, then it's gonna take effort and it's gonna take time, and it has to be more
Consistency.
than just a piece of
Right.
paper.
You gotta
So
put the
that's-
work in.
Yeah, if you just think of it as a piece of paper, the moment stuff get rough between us,
You checking out.
Yeah.
let's go.
Mhm.
Let's tear this piece
Let's
of paper
burn
up.
the paper
Yeah.
up.
Let's burn it. I'm done. So it has to be more than that.
Right.
I agree.
So go ahead.
Let's get into dating because we didn't talk about marriage.
That's it.
Oh, okay.
She ready. She ready. Okay, so before we get into the topic, we are sponsored today by Wolf Proof, which is a Black-owned, woman-owned company that seeks to change the landscape of traditional pet food. Natural and organic does not have to be synopsis with tasteless and bland. Wolf Proof uses the freshest ingredients and is prepared the human grade way. Wolf Proof is very yummy. She actually had a video of her husband eating the Wolf Proof. So we know that it's good for dogs and humans. Follow Facebook at Wolf Proof Meal Prep. And the information is info wolfproof.wix, W-I-X site.com.
There you go. Thank you. So you want to jump into dating in 2022?
Yeah, I mean,
Let's
we were
go.
talking about marriage and being married. We can't get to that part.
Yeah, we gotta get to dating
I mean,
first.
y'all already there. We trying to
Get
maybe
there.
not get there. You trying to get there, Jalisa?
Yeah, I'm trying to get there.
You trying to get back there?
That's
I'm
the
definitely
goal.
trying to get back there.
Okay, well, I'm trying to get there. So let's how we get there?
Why? I don't know. I ain't there.
So I wrote down some questions for some of you singles because
All right.
Well, let's just say this. Kim just celebrated her 13 years, which she
Right.
said.
Mhm.
And I've been married for 4 years, pretty much.
40?
Oh, wow.
Four.
It do
Four.
sound like you
Okay,
said
yeah.
40.
Yeah.
So 4. I got married in 2018. So I'm not far removed from the dating scene.
You are. though.
We've been
Okay, you pre-COVID.
technology has sped up since then.
Okay,
Because you've been in a
that happened.
relationship for them. You,
Yeah.
yeah,
You-
so about
yeah.
6 years I've
You
been
far
in a-
removed.
You don't relate.
Your dating about to fall off your dating report. you no,
It's off the
honey.
credit now.
Right.
Well,
All of you first. So first of all y'all are single.
Yes.
You're all parents as well,
Yes.
right? So a couple of questions that I want to ask for your first date.
Mhm.
What is one question that you ask on your first date that you deem to be very important to know immediately?
first date.
Man, that's a good one.
What's your relationship like with God?
Good Jesus, you better know.
I had to roll. I got 20 questions. I had to roll through.
Baby trying to build that foundation. Day
Yes.
one.
Listen, I don't want no cracks in my
Right.
foundation.
It gotta be solid.
Yes, gotta have a relationship.
Do you love the Lord?
Okay.
There you go.
Do he hear your cry?
Yes, amen. I like that one.
Yes.
I always ask like just how you feel about kids if they have kids, like what they think about that. Because like I'm always very like, hey, I have a kid, like I have a 7-year-old, that's my baby, that's my world. So like I always try to bring that out like immediately, so you know, like, hey, I got a kid, so like
Right.
where
Whole
your
package.
stands with that before
Right.
we even get started.
That's definitely a good question. That's on my
Mhm.
top 20 questions
Yeah.
I asked too. How do you date a woman with kids? How do you feel about dating
Yeah.
a woman with
And I
kids
think that's
or
very
kids?
important because there's some people who will say, I don't want to date a woman with kids, which is perfectly
It's
fine, but you
absolutely.
need to let somebody know up front,
Yeah.
especially if they
My
have
son-
kids.
Listen, it's stated on my dating profile.
Yeah.
I have one kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Okay. For me, my first question is always, do you really have time to date, or you just
Ooh,
think
come
that's
through.
the idea of dating? Like, I need to be dating. Do
Yeah.
you actually have time to put in the effort?
Time is important.
So, that's, because I know some women, a lot of women have kids and stuff like that. So do you really have time to date me?
Mhm.
Okay.
You know
So
what
how
I'm
many
saying?
dates do you need in a week? I'm just asking.
Who says who puts a number on how many days you need in a week?
Well,
then
but
how
do
then
you
how
really have time to
quantify-
date?
Yeah, how do you quantify that question then if you don't know what number you're looking for?
I'm not looking for a number, just the availability.
Okay.
Are you willing to be available?
I'm willing to be available.
No, not you, but that's a question.
Oh, yeah.
am I
They
willing
have
to
to
be
be willing
available?
to be
Yeah.
available. It's
I'm
not
like,
an amount of hours, but
Yeah.
It's
can you
like-
carve out something for us to
Exactly.
connect on that level?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
So let me ask y'all something. As a single, when you ask a question, do you already know like how you are about that question? Or is it just something you expect from the other person? Do you feel like you've evaluated yourself to say, just like you said, are you available? Do you have time to date? Do you look at yourself and say, do I really have time to date before I pose that question to somebody else?
I carve out time for what I want. So if I want to date that person, I'm going to create time to date that person. So yes, I do.
Okay.
I have time.
Okay. But I'm just saying, any question that you, anything that you want from somebody else, do you
Require it from
evaluate
yourself.
yourself and
Yeah.
require that from yourself?
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Okay.
So
Absolutely.
you said the Lord, asking them what their relationship's like. Asking what their relationship is like with the Lord, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's very important. But what do you guys think the landscape is now in 2022 when it comes to spirituality? Or, cause I hear a lot of different things. Like people like, I'm spiritual, but I don't believe in Jesus, or you know. And for me, it's like there's only one way. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So what are y'all's thoughts on that?
So for me, I need to know that you have a relationship with God, because not everybody you date is going to be somebody who you end up marrying, right?
Exactly.
But if you have the potential to be somebody that I marry, I need to know that you're connected to God.
Mhm.
Can you pray for yourself? Can you pray for us? Can you pray over our relationship? Can you pray when this shit get hard? Can you pray about it and then let's come up with a resolution? I'm not saying you got to go to church every Sunday, because I don't go to church every Sunday, but you need to have your own relationship with God, because I have my own, and we should be able to bridge our relationships together. I want to be able to pray over you. Okay.
So
Yeah.
I also feel a man being a leader, he has to have a relationship with
Yeah,
God
you
to
can't leave me
lead
if
the
you don't.
family.
Yes, that part too.
Mhm.
What about you, Bronson? What do you feel? Because you got quiet.
I got
I
hot
just-
too.
spiritual, you know, I do require that, right? I do ask that question. You know, what your spirit or visual relationship with God is like. But I also go a step further. I don't want the woman that I'm dating to weaponize, you know, religious and spiritual things, because they'll point out every single thing a man does spiritually, you know, as it relates to the Bible, and they don't hold themselves accountable. So that's a tough thing for a man.
So you're saying that sometimes women will use the Bible to say, as a man, you're lacking, and they're
Yes.
not doing what the Bible says they should do as a woman.
Exactly. That's
Give
what
us
I
an
say.
example.
They weaponize the Bible and what it says, instead of actually, you're expecting that from me, but are you doing the same work? You know what I'm
Well, I think if we're going biblically based, the Bible tells men and women what they should do, right? And if
Yes.
everybody's behaving in the manner that the Bible outlines, then we should be good. But unfortunately, a lot of times we don't want to do that, right?
Correct.
And you hear that a lot with like the word submission, and it's like, especially women are like, I don't want to submit, but I think men kind of use it wrong sometimes. So for me,
Yes.
submission is we submit one unto another. How we
Exactly.
submit may look a little bit different because you're the man and I'm the woman,
But we
should both be submitting.
Absolutely.
And so when people hear that, it's like, I don't submit to no man, or men will say stuff that just really doesn't line up with the Bible, like
they
submitting,
confuse submission with
Yeah.
controlling.
because the Bible clearly
It's
states,
true.
love your wife as Christ so loved the church. So are you loving me in that way? If you're not, then there's already a disconnect for you being a man.
You should already know what kind of guy he is, you know, before y'all get married.
I
So
agree with
you
that.
don't think that people change?
But why marry a guy that doesn't believe in that?
So you feel like the main things about a person you need to
Yes.
know about them before you
Yes.
get married.
Before
I
you
agree.
get married. Like if that wasn't him before you got married, it's gonna be hard to change it. You know what I'm saying? Because you know, before you get married, if you don't like something about someone, it's only gonna get worse. And
Well,
when you get married, so it's gonna irritate you a little bit more, because now you're with this person every day,
Yeah.
and now you see all their flaws, and you living with it and dealing with it. So
Well, I feel like a lot of issues in relationships come from people trying to change people. So
Yes.
you already
Right.
see things in them
Exactly.
when you meet them, when you're dating, that
Yeah,
you
believe
know
who they
you
are
don't
when they
like,
show you.
right?
Mhm.
You know you don't like, but then you marry that person in hopes to change them. But at the end of the day, you can't change nobody. They have to want to change
They
on their
have to
own.
want to change.
Now, can they change? Absolutely. Will they change is a question, because sometimes they may, sometimes they may not. And that's a chance you taking
Mhm.
if you get in a relationship with somebody thinking that you can change their thought processes and who they are.
So ladies, are y'all okay if the man doesn't change?
Well,
What are they not changing?
that-
Like what's
Whatever
so
it is.
change is inevitable, right? Like
Mhm.
I think most people remain the same personality wise, if that makes sense. So if you're outgoing, you're probably gonna be outgoing your whole life. If you're a
Mhm.
certain type of person, but I do expect people to mature and evolve.
Exactly.
So if I met you and we were teenagers, are you gonna be acting like a teenager at 40? No, that doesn't make sense. Your
Mhm.
choices should be better. Things you should be doing are different.
right.
I'm not the same woman I was at 25, although I felt then I was mature and different
Yeah.
things like that. I'm different now.
Absolutely.
So
We all should be
change
evolving.
is inevitable.
Mhm.
And when you put people in boxes and are kind of like, I don't expect for you to change, we were
That's
talking
how you
on
grow
the part,
apart.
and you change your career. Now, what if your person that you with is like, no, you have to remain at XYZ? It's like, no, I'm allowed to change my mind as long as I'm still able to financially help the family and do what needs to be
Exactly.
done.
Mhm.
Now, if your choice is gonna put us underwater, that's different. But if it's like,
Right.
I don't want to be this no more and I'm moving to this, does that mean you change as a person? No, that's a personal
I think that's
decision.
how relationships can fail, though. You stay liking the person as who they was when you
Yeah.
met them.
Yeah.
And you
Mhm.
don't understand that they change. So every day you should find something new that you love about that person or that you like about that person so that you can continue to, want to be with that
Yeah.
person.
Mhm.
Now, if they change it for the worse, and of course, I'm not saying continue on with that.
Right.
But if you see they evolving, becoming a better man, she becoming a better woman, like that's the kind of things you should embrace
Right.
about that person and love more about that person because you see that they're not just complacent.
But see, some of the issues lie where somebody could be evolving, becoming a better person, but it may take time away from that household. Whereas before they were devoting a lot of time to that man. So now, or vice versa. So now you're out, chasing your goals, doing certain things, and it pulls you away from the house. But that's the thing that man really liked about you. So I think it's just like a balance. You got to kind of figure out, if he's willing to support some of those things and how you can navigate through those changes.
And that's where communication come into play. Hey, before you jump out there and do something, let's talk about it first.
Mhm.
So that way he not just blindsided or she not just blindsided.
Yeah.
I have an opinion about what you just said. I don't necessarily agree with a woman taken away from the home. Like, you can have your outside things, but your home is the most important. That should be stable, and you should pour more into your home life than any outside stuff.
But what does that mean? Because when you say take away from the home, because what if she wasn't working and now she decided to go get a job? Does that mean she's taken away from the home now because she decided to go get a job?
I'm just saying, as long as you're pouring just as much into the home life and it's not taken away from that, that's what I'm talking about. Like, you said balance. I always think it should be tilted heavily towards home life than outside the home.
I think she's talking about balance in the relationship, right?
Yeah, but I think that depends on what that looks like. What pouring into that household looks like to
Those two
the
people.
man. Because sometimes the man can feel like pouring into the house is you being at home all the time. That doesn't, because you're working different jobs or doing different things, that doesn't necessarily mean you're not pouring into your household, but you might not be at home as much as you were before.
Right, I might go get a part-time, but I'm still home
But
with the kids and
you
cook
still
dinner and all
cooking,
that.
you still doing certain
Yeah.
things.
There's comfort in proximity. When I
Okay.
say that, with like, when we know you're gonna be at home, that's a comfort for us.
Mhm.
And we ain't saying you can't go out and do things, but it's still
Is
a
that a
comfort for us.
Is it comfort or controlling?
It ain't control. I don't think it's controlling, but I'm just saying, like, we want, the insurance that you're at home sometimes, or it's not taken away from me experiencing life with you because you're at home and I'm able to experience life with you.
So can
Wait,
I
what you
add to
gonna
that
say?
specifically as like my husband and I've had this conversation that you're having. Like, I feel like you're leaving or you're doing something. But my thing is, when I'm sitting in the house not doing anything, right, and we're just here, and then someone calls me, Jackie, Jalissa, it's like, let's go somewhere. And I get up and now I'm dressed, and you're like, well, where are you going? We didn't have any plans. Like, why does it bother you that I'm now leaving the home? You know what I'm saying?
Because comfort.
But whose comfort? Because
Proximity.
I want to get out
So
of
you
these
want to be
four
able
walls.
to see her in them four walls, or know they in them
Yeah.
four walls,
Even
and know that ain't
even
no
if-
other man hitting on her, looking at
telling you,
her,
I'm
or she
telling you.
ain't out here doing nothing that you
I'ma
would
say this.
disapprove of.
You know how many Friday night fights people have so a man can go out because a woman wants him home? Like, why you got to go out with your friends? Like, there's an argument to be had sometimes.
Now,
before
go on
a
out with your
guy
friends.
gets
Yeah,
out.
As long as
no.
it's not excessive, I don't see
Yeah.
what the issue
Yeah, go on out
is.
with your friends.
Because I feel like there has to be a balance. Like, your marriage is one piece of the puzzle.
And
But
one
you
piece
have
of you.
Yeah, one piece of you, one piece of the puzzle, but you have other areas that make you whole. So your friendships make you whole too. Like, your husband can't be the only thing or the only friend
That's
that you
smothering.
have. Yeah.
Yeah.
So sometimes I am gonna want to go out with my girls. My husband can't be my house can't be my only goal. Like, I have fitness goals or different goals where I need to focus on myself sometimes. And your
So that I could
husband,
be better in the house.
right? But everything can't be navigated just around your husband
So
Okay.
can I
or
take
your
it,
wife. I feel.
can I take it back to dating real
Yes.
quick? So again, one of the things even earlier we said is piss in the pool, there's toxic, whatever toxicity in the pool, turds in the pool. Looking at yourself, where do you feel like you may be preventing yourself from being successful? Where are you maybe the pollution in the pool? Like, because sometimes I think we don't look at ourselves. It's like
You gonna start. You gonna start.
when you think about yourself,
Jalissa said she perfect. You don't know what she's talking about.
Sound like a Gemini.
So when you kind of think about your own behaviors or your own thoughts and actions,
I'm the Gemini.
Yes.
what do you think? What do you think?
So
may be
for me, I
hindering
feel
you?
like I'm trusting, right? If you tell me this is how it is, this is your word, I'm trusting that you are a man of your word because I'm a woman of my word, right? I look at it like when I taught school, all my students started off with an A. It wasn't until they didn't turn in their assignments or didn't do what they were supposed to do or act out in class that it changed my perception of them. I feel like that has hindered me because I expect everyone to be a person of their word because I'm a person of my word. So now I'm kind of shifting how I navigate dating moving forward. You're going to have to let your actions match your words. Words are just some shit you can say.
So you feel like you've been too trusting in the past. What about you, Jalissa? What do you think has hindered you?
I think my biggest thing is like I'm not always emotionally available
Okay.
because I have like this. I don't know. It's kind of like I guess I come off real guarded, but it's not like I don't like. I mean, we'll have fun and stuff, but it's like I'm not always fully available. Like I'll let you in to like a certain extent, but then it's like no, like you're not gonna hurt me. So it's kind of like I have this where it's like, yeah, you may think this is how I'm feeling, but you will never know how I'm feeling. Like you need to read my mind before you know what's going on. So
why do you think you have that guard up? Like what has caused you to be guarded like that?
I would say like probably past hurt, but I mean honestly, like no one is who they say they are. Because I mean, like when I say dating, I just feel like it's like an interview. Like from my experience dating guys, like that's why I don't even like asking a whole bunch of questions on the first date. You're gonna tell me what you think I want to hear.
That part.
But it's more so
Let's
like
vibe.
hanging around, like getting to
When
know
you
each
see
other.
somebody and
Like I always have this thing, like my first dates, I don't like to get drinks. Like I don't like to drink because I want to see if I like you sober. Like if we both can hang out and have a good time, none of us had a drink. Like okay, maybe we can do this again.
Exactly.
But yeah, because you have a whole fun, and then because y'all drinking, and then like y'all hang out another time, and it's like, who is this person? Like, I don't like him. But I just feel like that's why I'm not giving you no interview. Like you're showing me who you are, and I'm gonna try to give you that time to figure out who you are. But like you're not gonna get all of me either because I'm gonna give you what I allow you to have right now because you have to earn that.
So y'all seem to be on separate ends of the scale. Like you're like, okay, you say it, I believe you, and you like, hell no, you ain't telling the truth.
I will say this, and I've done this before too. I feel like with women, a man can say like a lot of things that sound good, but then they can tell us something and we don't really listen to what they said. So I think as women, we have to be careful with that because a man might say, I'm just saying, for instance, I'm not ready to be in a relationship, but we don't listen to that part. We listen to everything else he said. But when he says, I don't,
that.
No, but I'm just saying
No,
a lot
I'm
of
with
women do it. I've done that before, but it's like that one piece you don't really listen to. But I've learned, like when I was dating, I would really listen to what a man said. And then when he said certain things, like that thing would stick with me. And if it didn't align with what he previously said, or I wouldn't just take, oh, well, he said all these other things. You have to really listen to everything that they say because they're going to show themselves at some point.
That part.
Bronson, what about you? What
What
do
was
you
the
think?
question again?
What hinders you that you know about yourself hinders you from being successful in relationships as a single man?
I've learned that I'm not gonna start something that I can't keep up.
Well,
So if she expects me to call her every day, if I start out doing that, if I start slacking off or something like that, then she gonna think something wrong. But so
That's
I just
true.
need to find a happy medium. That way, if we don't talk to each other, we may just text each other that day. But I'm not gonna start anything I can't necessarily keep up and maintain. Because that's just giving her, false information of how things are gonna be on a normal. So
have you been guilty of that in the past, and
Oh,
that's
yeah.
something you're changing now?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
I love women sometimes. So You know.
You love
What,
what?
Mom?
Oh, just give them a lot of stuff.
Yeah. No, just just emotionally feed them. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And then
Oh, so you play up on their emotions.
no, you have to.
Oh Lord.
Look, not play upon it, but you have to have a connection emotionally.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? That's gonna make her, the relationship go.
But
better.
are you doing it like as your true self, or are you doing this just to try to get?
No,
You
I'm
have
doing
an
it.
alternative.
Yeah, I'm doing it as my true self. Like, but like I said, that right there could cause, issues down the line. Because if you don't,
But that's
have
where
that same-
communication comes in place. Though.
It's true.
Communication.
'Cause I feel like-
important.
Not everybody.
Not trying to down all
communicators.
men, but I feel like a lot of men don't communicate because it's like,
and they think they do.
yeah,
Look,
like
and
you,
we feel like a lot of women are over communicators.
yeah, that's true.
So
That could be
you
true
know,
too.
That is true.
So
What
what do
is-
y'all think about
wait.
texting?
That's what I was gonna ask
okay.
too. So in 2022, I think for a while, texting is like a huge thing, and it's none of that like old school people picking up the phone, really calling you and talk. How do you feel texting has affected relationships today?
I'm not a big texter. I'm the one that, cause I be forgetting my phone is at. I be not responding all the time.
Yeah.
But I mean, I do feel like it's making it lazy. Like I feel like guys are putting in like minimum effort just to shoot a text,
Yeah.
and then like they feel like that's enough. Because I mean, like to me, like the person that stands out to me is the one that actually picked up the phone call and called me,
That
or like
part.
FaceTime me randomly. And
That part.
like you're gonna like move up the charts of
Yeah.
whoever I'm dating. Like, oh yeah, you put the time in just to call me and ask me how
That
my day
part.
was.
Yeah.
Compared to somebody that texts me every day. Good
Good morning, beautiful.
Yeah.
Yes, Grand
I-
Rising, my queen.
You know what?
That's a new thing.
I don't think people should. You should downplay that. Somebody saying "Good morning, beautiful," because there's so many other women out there would love to have the text.
I don't know.
That's not what we're
So-
saying.
That's not
That's
what
not
I'm
what we're
saying.
saying.
Listen.
It's
Oh,
just
okay,
that some
I'm
men,
just
that's
saying,
all
don't-
they will
No,
say to you is
yeah.
every
Oh,
morning,
okay.
good morning, beautiful. Like, okay, is there something
Because-
next?
right.
I'm just saying.
I mean,
Listen,
I prefer
Like,
to have a phone
appreciate it.
conversation more so than text.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
texting is cool. It's like,
Yeah.
our day is busy. We can't really have a conversation. Let's shoot a couple
yeah.
quick text message or anything
Yeah.
like that. But the guy who I can sit and talk to on a regular basis and talk for a good amount of time
Yeah.
is going to be the guy who's going to, like you said,
Yeah.
rise up to the top. And I'm like, okay, I'm checking for him.
Like,
He's
yeah.
checking for me. We having conversation.
Yeah.
Like,
The thing too, when you're talking to someone on the phone, you're more connected with that person.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
Like I can hear your inflection. I can hear, I can hear your pauses. We can really vibe with each other. When you're texting, I could be texting all four of y'all at the same time.
Exactly.
And nobody knows. It's just
Exactly.
like you sitting by your phone waiting on a response.
And-
you know
and
what I'm
then
saying?
that part.
It's just weird.
That
And then it's
part.
like, what's the conversation like? So you
Yeah.
texting me, good morning, beautiful. What you doing?
Yeah.
Every freaking day? Like,
Yeah.
come on now.
yeah.
How's
that-
your day?
Yeah.
Like that's usually a 3 you get. And it's
Well,
like everything's good. Like there's
yeah.
there's no
No,
meat in
there's
that.
no substance
yeah,
in
there's
the
no
text.
substance.
But then I don't want to have
women-
a substantial text message conversation either.
right.
I mean,
feel
I
like
can. It just
depends.
depends because
Yeah.
like I have a lot going too, So it's like I may be busy this week at work. So if all we can do is text, that's fine. But at least you put the effort in. But I don't want all we do is text. Like I've never talked to you on the phone. I've never FaceTime you.
Yeah.
All you want to do is shoot me a text. But if like, hey, Monday's busy for us, all we doing is texting. At least you checking in. Like let me make me feel special. And then
That
Tuesday
part,
you
I
call
agree.
me real quick, like, hey, like what's going
Just-
on?
yeah.
But I
I
mean, we got
But I
stuff
don't feel
going.
like text is really for me, even whether it's my guy or my friends, text is more of a quick thing. Like, hey, what you like if I'm gonna have a conversation,
Like a
I'm
big
picking up
interview.
my phone and I'm
Yeah.
calling you.
Well,
But
That's
if
what I'm saying. I don't want
if
a
it's
substantial
quick,
amount.
Yeah,
I don't think
if
it's-
it's
But if I need to
quick,
read you your rights real quick, I'll send you a text message
I
if I have to.
I don't think there's nothing. I don't
If
think
I
there's
can't talk
nothing
to
wrong.
you at
Yeah,
that moment, then I'll send a
Yeah.
I
text
don't think
message.
there's nothing wrong with having like a long text message conversation, but you got to understand the circumstance. So, like she said, if I'm at work and we want to talk and I can't really pick up the phone, okay, let's text. We can-
Yeah.
and if it's something I don't understand, eventually we're gonna
Call.
later on at night. I'm gonna talk to you and be like, "What did you mean by
I
this?"
think,
Yeah.
but I think that's different.
Well, but I also think that for me, like a good morning, beautiful text that you get, like we as women understand what that means. You're just trying to have a connection with us so that you can be like, I do text you, but you're not into us. If all you're texting is good morning, what you doing, and we don't
Hello,
hear from you no
sunshine.
more that day. There's nothing to appreciate about
Exactly.
that.
My
Why-
beautiful.
We're probably
Well, why don't you just block the guy?
Good morning,
we can,
queen.
but I'm just saying.
That person at that
At the
point.
end of the day, because like Jalissa said earlier, sometimes we as women have needs that may be comforting to us for that time being, but we
Exactly.
know
Exactly.
we know that that man is not that into us if that's all he's doing. Like when me and Chase started dating, the thing that attracted me to him is that he picked up the phone and called me.
That
We would
part.
talk for
Mhm.
hours
That
late at
part.
night.
That
Like
part,
we did long texts, but we also talked every
Exactly.
day too.
that
And
part.
for me, that means a lot in today's society. If
It
you
means a whole lot
just
to me,
strictly
too.
texting,
Yeah.
you're not that into
You can't get to
society.
know
So-
a person through text.
Right.
Like you can't gauge their tone. You
Mhm.
can't understand
No.
how they respond, how they feel, not just through no text message.
And
I need
for
to hear
me,
your
with
voice.
a text, if I read a text and I feel like, what does that mean? You know what I'm saying? Or I'm like, are they trying to say that? Then I'm gonna call because I'm like, I don't want no confusion. I don't
Yeah.
want to feel a certain type of way. I don't even want to feel good about what you just texted. That ain't what you meant. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, so if there's any confusion for me, I'm gonna just call and be like, what does this mean? Or let's talk about it.
Right.
Because you can go back and forth with somebody in a text message and y'all both on two separate pages. And then it's
Mhm.
like, nah, that's not what I was trying to say. Well, that's what it sounded like to me because you didn't put that comma in the period. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Right.
You can be reading it
Your
completely
grammar was
wrong.
off.
Exactly.
Or a man
So-
that never takes you on dates. Like, you know, he's not interested
Yeah.
in you.
Not
If he's not
interested.
taking you on no dates. Like, men that are interested in you, they're going to
To
make
show
you,
you.
yes, they're going to show you. They're going to make you a priority. They're going to do things to let you know that they really want to be with you. And
I
that's
agree.
just,
I
that's
agree.
facts, Bronson. You know that.
Is that not facts?
You don't. I don't think I can say is you don't know if you like.
No,
the
don't be
person.
politically correct.
Like,
Right.
This is not
No,
no.
but to answer the question about text messages, I don't see an issue with it. Like you're asking a guy that you already said that most guys don't communicate effectively.
Mhm.
So you forcing him to communicate with you to acknowledge that he likes you. You're forcing that to him because you're like, oh, I feel like he likes me if he communicates with me. Like he may just want to text because he might not want to be on the phone with you because you're gonna over communicate. When you can just send a quick text message or have a quick conversation.
But that's a part of
Before you
understanding
respond,
who you're.
let's have 10 do our commercial.
Okay.
Yeah, we
Oh,
Let's
goodness.
get into this second commercial.
Yes, hold on 2 seconds. Let me see here. All right. So we all know that our episode today is brought to us by Wolf Proof. And Wolf Proof was created with the everyday working to the executive fur pet parent in mind, or Fergie, because I'm a fur granny.
Yeah.
We take the guesswork out of healthy eating for your furry friend. We provide at your door delivery as well as ship deliveries across the DFW. Our foods are vacuum sealed and individually packaged to maintain its freshness. Wolf Proof, where yummy meets healthy.
All right
I
now.
want to keep this on the dater. So another thing that's huge is the 3-letter sex.
Well, hold on. Wait. I want to go back to what he said about I just lost my train of thought. No, you just said, if you texting, you're over communicating or what have you, now that making the girl feel like you like her. Or taking her out on dates will make her feel like you like her, or if you're interested in her, right? But if you don't take them out on a date or you're not spending time with them, how do you know if there's an interest there? Like that
No.
helps with that.
I never said that you shouldn't take a woman out. I'm like, you definitely should take a woman out if you're interested in her. It's just sometimes you don't have the time. Sometimes you don't have the bandwidth to do it. Sometimes you don't. So
But you
But
just
if you
said
don't have
earlier
the
you'll
time,
make
then why are you
time.
dating?
yeah, but okay. So we don't have to go on a date every single week, though, do we?
No,
Or most
there's
of the
other
time
ways
a
to
week,
fill the time.
right?
I don't think you have to go on a date.
It's
You
multiple
have
ways
to
fill
show that
time.
interest. Yes, you
Exactly.
have to show that interest. If it's phone calls,
Mhm.
there has to be dates at some point. So if
Yeah.
the
At
only
some
time we
point.
can
But
get
we're
together,
I know it should be dates, but I'm saying how frequently should you date? So you go out on a date. How frequently should I plan a date? You know what I'm saying? We don't.
But that's the conversation
as
that
y'all
y'all
time
have.
permits.
As much,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? You just said earlier that you need to know that she's available to date you.
right?
So that would be the conversation y'all would have. We may not be able to go out on a date every week because of our schedule, but there's other ways to fill that
Yeah.
time. You can FaceTime date, you can have conversations
Sure.
or what have you, but you still need to make some type of time to take that woman out
Out.
so y'all can vibe on an in-person level without no
Yes.
other distraction.
I agree, but like I've been dating, right? It's sometimes it's hard to get a woman to commit to going out. They be like, I don't know you, but I want to sit in front of you when I
Did
meet
you
you.
meet
so I
her
can-
online?
if I did, if I didn't, it doesn't really matter. It's just like
I'm
okay.
gonna go out. I'm gonna drop my
Me
location.
too.
So my
Like,
girl,
I don't
like,
know you like them. Like however we
I
get
don't
to
know.
know me, if we don't go
But
out.
what
we
kind
go
of
out.
dates are you asking though? Because most dudes that say that it's like, oh, your date is for me to come over there. And no, I don't
That's
know you
different
enough
too.
and I'm not coming
Right.
over there.
But
You
okay,
gotta go.
I'm just
online,
saying,
also online
Because
dating.
if you invite me out to a mutual spot, okay, cool. Like, where is
Right.
it?
Most women
Get
don't
what's
do
the
it.
reservation? Like, come with that kind of energy. Don't
Okay.
ask me when we can go out. Tell me, like,
Okay.
hey, Thursday at 5, can we do this? Okay, bet.
So
Well, how-
why women can't do that?
I mean,
I want
you
the
want
man.
me.
He's a man.
Like, I
No,
don't.
I'm
Do we
saying,
have to control
And
every
that's another
situation?
thing. Men these days
And I don't
want
want
to
to
be chased.
confuse you.
It's not-
I
it's
don't
not
want to
being
confuse you
chased.
and make you think
It's
I'm
not
paying
being
because
chased. No,
I gave you a
man.
date.
Okay,
It's
or I
not
pick
even-
somewhere that's
it's not
not
even-
in your budget.
It's not even saying that. Like, you want us to plan a date, do all this stuff, initiate the date, where you just show up. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like-
but I mean,
are-
to show up.
Right.
Exactly.
It takes a lot of effort for us to show up.
What's I
It
mean,
does.
but
Well,
what's
aren't you
wrong
the
with
guy?
planning a- yeah,
Like,
it's
so
that-
what? You mean you want
You
to
supposed
carry
to
the
lead
person?
the relationship
I'm
or
paying for
lead
date. They're
the
paying for
the
date.
courting.
Yes, because
Okay.
you're the
You
leader.
think that's fair?
Yeah, that's
Yes.
fair. Because
Oh,
like she
okay.
said, now if I plan something that I like and it's out of your price range, then you're gonna be like, dang, she went to this expensive. No,
Well,
She gold digging.
but
I'm gonna be
I
honest.
honestly feel like that's a part of relationships. So when you first start dating a woman, yes, you plan dates and you pay for dates, but
Exactly.
eventually a woman is gonna be like, let me take you on a date. Let me
Exactly.
take you somewhere. Let me do things
So
for you.
That's a lot of that's a lot of investment on a man's part, right?
It
Planning
just-
dates, paying for dates, all that kind of stuff. Like,
Starting out.
what
That's
are
why
y'all
you should be
contributing to the
dating multiple.
There's a lot of
I said, what do
investment
you
taking
guys
somebody.
contributing to dating? If we're doing all that, planning the dates, paying for dates, making sure your schedule lines up with ours, what are y'all doing?
We're both making sure
So
our
our
schedule
schedules line
lines, but
up.
we're bringing ourselves
We're
to
showing
the
up.
date.
Bringing
We're-
ourselves. That's it.
But we're
They bringing
also
okay,
themselves.
okay, I got
That's
a couple
it.
But you,
Okay.
you date a person who you're interested in. So
Right.
I got
You
you
gotta
to
come
know.
to
So you
just
should
said it.
want to
You're
do the.
bringing yourself. That's it.
But
You're
that's
bringing
what you
everything
want.
else.
hold on, y'all. Let the people jump
Okay,
in. Let the
okay,
people jump
hold
in.
on.
Hold on real quick. So Off the Block said if a guy's trying to get at you, he'll text, call, and try to
True,
be in your
text.
presence via coffee or lunch.
Exactly.
Another Lakeisha said if she has to text her friend to help clarify what your text message meant, then she's out. Deuces. Dr. Angela Lindsay said the tone of a text can be misunderstood. Text is okay sometimes, but there needs to be intimacy and face-to-face communication,
Definitely.
which is what we've been kind of saying here.
Definitely.
So
I don't see, to me, that's this new 2022 dating. Like, if I pay for the date and I pay for what you as a woman bring it, like, what
Yeah.
happened to the men
Yeah,
that
daddy
wanted
wasn't
to
acting
date
like
women
that.
and court women?
It's not
Exactly.
about that. It's not about that. We have to have
You made
equal
it about-
investment.
So
in
what
dating.
makes it equal for the
What
woman
makes
to
it
bring to
equal?
the
I
date?
don't know.
Well,
have
no,
to-
you can't say
something-
that if you
look,
don't
Right,
you
know.
yeah.
You
have
don't know.
something that I deem valuable.
And that's
That's
Besides
her.
your time.
But
Besides
that's
your
her.
time,
You
because
deemed
it's
her
my time
valuable.
also.
But you deem her valuable to take her
Right.
out on a date. If you're not taking her out on a date, you don't deem her
This is
valuable
why
for
the
your
dating
time.
pool is trash.
This
Because
is
men want to be the
dating
men
pool
want to
is
be dated.
opposite.
Y'all want to be
Opposite.
courted. I'm not
men
courting
was-
no
you were
man.
just talking earlier about men acting masculine.
They don't
As
act
women,
masculine.
we don't think that's masculine for men to be like, you gonna pay for my food?
Well,
No,
us
I'm
men,
not.
Us men are we want equal value. We want to make sure y'all.
See,
are
but I'm not on that
invest-
50-50.
No,
but what
I need a
does equal
provider.
value
I'm not
mean?
dating
You're
somebody
not.
to be
Let me
like,
finish. Let me finish. We don't think in the dating stage that we're more invested than y'all are.
so. What makes you feel like you're more invested? Because on a
like I say,
because
but I'm
it's
saying
money.
on a first date.
we
Wait,
paying
but
It's
listen,
money.
on a
how
first
y'all invested us
but
that makes it seem
listen.
like it's value.
on a first date, when you take a woman out, right? You plan a date, you pay for it. In that instance, you're telling me you feel like you're more vested because you did those things.
What have you done?
Well,
So
nine
what would
times
you
out of
expect?
10
For the
What,
first
but
date,
what would you?
have
But what would
done
you expect?
besides
The,
show up?
but what would you expect a woman to do? What could
But
she?
he
wait,
just
Bron-
asked him that. He don't have an answer
Bronson,
for
what
that.
could a woman do to make you feel like she's invested?
Like if we're going on our first date, it's automatically that I'm going to pay, right?
Okay.
At least you can pick something that you want to do.
Well,
least-
I mean,
Okay, so she but here's how she picks something she want to do. Y'all have that conversation
Right,
and discuss
yeah.
likes. I tell you, I like to go bowling. I'll whoop your ass. You plan a date for us to go bowling. Boom! I done told you what I like. Now you done planned it.
But you know,
That's
so many
simple.
other times it just be like, I just want, just like you said, I need you to plan a date so I can just get up and put on some clothes or look nice or whatever the case may be. So I got to figure out, invest in my time.
I think we're
figure
making
out
it
how to-
harder than it has to be.
9 out of 10 though, you approach that woman.
exactly.
You either if it's online, you DM'd her, you did. I don't know what the online dating people do, but a bling
They
or
swipe
snap
to
or
the
whatever.
left.
Swipe,
However,
something.
you reached out to her
and
so
express
you
interest.
asking her for her time, and she's saying yes, okay. But I just feel like men, even my son, I'm already he's only 11. Like when you start dating, you pay for a girl on a date, open the door, do certain things. Why do you feel like you should not be doing that?
I'm not saying that we
understand.
shouldn't do it. I never said I shouldn't do that. I said I think you should be equal invested when you're dating from both sides. That's the only thing I said.
So you
I
wanna
think
go
equal.
Dutch?
I mean,
But
No, I'm not saying
He's saying a
Dutch.
woman
I'm
should
saying-
plan a date and then
Yes,
he show
and I'll
up
pay
and
for it.
So
pay.
you want to open
But
the door
here's
for
the
you
thing.
too?
No,
But
I'm
she,
a-
I mean,
I'm
that's
a-
what I'm saying, like-
but essentially, she's planning the date. If we sitting here, we're having conversations to get to know each other, and I'm telling you the things I like. That's me letting you know. So when you plan a date and you want to do something that I like, I've already told you some of the things I like. So plan those things. That's me giving you the investment. So you say,
I honestly feel like where the issue lies is people are looking for too much. Like, if I plan a date, how are you vested? Just plan the date, and
Let's
why are you?
vibe.
It's like you're already looking for something to
something.
make
They
make
just-
an issue.
It's
Yes.
audacity.
I-
It's just like you
Okay.
feel
it's the
entitled.
unmitigated
Okay.
goal.
So,
It's
so
audacity.
basically, what you're saying is, if a man plan a date and pay for a date, we're paying to spend time with you. Is that
No.
what you're saying?
No,
you're not
We're
paying.
getting to know each other.
Okay.
Listen, if you can't afford
each
to
other.
date all of
you
us,
say
let's
that.
choose one at a time.
No, honestly speaking, when you just logically think about it, I have to pay and plan for a date just for you to show up, just to spend time with me.
But you're asking for my time.
Right.
Okay, like you
Come
approach me,
on.
you want to talk to me, because I'm the type of person like, okay, we go on 3 good days. I will suggest
Yeah.
like, hey, let me do something for you, because
That
I'm gonna
part.
show you I'm interested. But
Right.
like in the
That part.
beginning, sir, you want me.
But and then
I'm
you
the
got-
prize.
Okay,
Men in 2022 don't feel
That's
like
right.
we're the
That's
prize.
right.
That's the type
They
of
feel like they the
attitude you
prize.
should have. We're not
Like-
saying we the prize. We're just saying
No.
we equally
Y'all got
invested.
prize
How's that
tendencies.
equal though?
Y'all
But you're not.
But even if I plan a date and I say, hey, we're gonna go to Ocean Prime, are you okay with that on the first date? Because some people might be like, that's way too much. On the
I don't
first
even
date.
know you like that.
Yeah.
You the Ocean Prime.
That way you know what a relationship is, so you wouldn't pick out something outrageous like
No,
that.
because
But
I
I
don't
like
Tell me
outrageous.
to pick, and
You
now you
just tell-
telling me
and
what I
that's-
picked.
That's why you
I like
allow them to
seafood.
see where they money at, so they can plan the first date. Because
But
you don't want to
because
take
I
them
don't
somewhere
wanna
that
plan
exactly
something out.
You
You're
come
gonna
in, you
afford.
say, Kim, meet me at the Applebee's on the first day. I'll be like, okay, this ain't gonna go much further than, you know.
Honestly,
No.
Well,
Honestly, it doesn't
on
even
my
matter
first
to
date,
play.
disagree with that.
I
I
don't go
would-
anywhere where you have to spend a lot of money. I'm like,
Well,
I'm gonna meet up and fill you out first.
I
Before
honestly
invest my
disagree
money
with
and
that.
time.
So if you ask me to go to Applebee's, I feel like we're spending time, we're
Exactly.
talking.
I'm gonna go.
I
To
agree.
me, that
So it
like
doesn't matter
I
where you
remember
go.
Chase and I went to Applebee's one day and we spent hours in the parking lot talking, and we still
Was
looked at.
the
Let
Applebee's in
me just-
Duncanville?
Yeah, well, no, it was the
I
one in
went,
Cedar
some of them
Hill.
ain't right.
No, but listen, I remember like we'll still pass the Applebee's today and be like, remember when we stayed
Yeah.
outside talking? And it just was a quick, like, my daughter had a game. Do you want to get together? Let's meet at the Applebee's. But I think when you start putting limits on stuff,
That
because
part.
you could call me Bronson and say, hey, I want to take you to the park. Let's go walk.
I
I've
was
had
just
the
about to say, I had
best
a
days.
best
Exactly.
date at the park.
Walking, talking,
Yes.
holding hands, laughing, racing each other. Like, there's a
One
lot
of
of
my
things
best
that,
days.
Exactly.
that you can do
Okay, so,
other than
so let me
spending your
chime
money.
in right there. I think it
Even
depends on
coffee
how
dates.
people are
Yes.
setting it
I
up,
love coffee
because
dates.
I've talked to a guy before who said, I only do free dates while I'm getting to know you. So we
Yes.
only walk in the park. We only walk trails. I don't want to be sweaty every time we go somewhere together. So if your intent is like you refuse to spend money on me, that's different. But if you just suggest, hey, let's go to the park and it's a nice day, but some men are doing it because they're actually refusing to spend money. And
Okay.
that's what he said. He was like, until I like you, I won't spend my money on you. Well, you know, hey, I don't want to walk all the time. I don't want to walk heels all the time.
It's Texas heat. Tell me to
Yes.
meet you at the pool. I will pull up natural.
Well, we're
but
actually
that's
getting,
already a bad attitude in my point,
Yeah.
to have that type of attitude.
we're actually
I-
getting short on time.
Yes.
So let's get into our last commercial,
Yes.
and then we're gonna have closing remarks after that. So we'll let the
While
singles
she's finding the commercial,
I
you
got
got
it.
it. Okay.
we'll let the singles close out with dating in 22. Like your synopsis. How you
Okay.
want.
So, Wolf Proof knows and understands a busy lifestyle. We all know too well the need for convenience. At Wolf Proof, we pride ourselves on providing an exceptional product for an exceptional value. Wolf Proof, where yummy meets healthy. So if you are a pet lover, this is the perfect product for you. Follow Wolf Proof on Facebook at Wolf Proof. That's WOOFPROOF Pet Meal Prep. Or you can order online at info.wolfproof.wix site.com. You may go now.
I was just gonna do. I forgot what I was gonna say.
A quick summary
Oh,
on
let's
dating in
let's
2022.
let our guests go first.
I'll let you go.
No, go. I'm ladies first.
Oh, now you want to be a gentleman.
I'm
Okay.
always a
You know,
gentleman.
he
I could
can
choose.
choose.
I'm always a gentleman. Always.
I don't know. Like, that's why I
Is your
wanna go
DMs
first.
open?
Just what are your thoughts?
I mean, honestly, I just think
Are your
it's-
DMs open?
are my DMs open? I don't know. No. Depends. Are you
She
saying for the
she
first
told
date?
you earlier she guarded.
Um,
Just like a couple pics.
I'm
she guarded.
optimistic, so I do feel like I'm gonna meet that one guy that's not trash out there, but it is very hard to find him. So I'm gonna stay optimistic. I'm gonna keep going, guard my heart at all purposes, and like continue to move forward. That's how I look at it. I mean, I don't overthink it. I mean, at this point, I'm just looking to have fun. Like yes, I want something serious, but I'm not putting too much focus on that. And I just feel like when it comes, it comes. So that's just where it's at.
What's the question?
Bronson, dating in 2022, your summary on that?
I think it's okay. Dating's okay. It ain't changed too much except the speed of relationships, how relationships evolve a lot faster than it used to, because and also accessibility to people to date. You don't used to date people in your town. Now you got the web, you got social media. You can date from anywhere. So that's the only thing that I think's changed. I'm just like her. I'm optimistic about getting married again, but I know myself better as a man, so I know what I'm looking for. So I'm gonna try my best to get to. I'm gonna try my best to make that decision if you're gonna work for me, so I don't waste my time or your time. So
Don't waste time in 2022.
Right.
That's the real subject. So I'll just say this. Don't waste my time in 2022. I'm very optimistic, just like our two lovely guests have said as well. I believe in Black love, and I know that it's out there for me. And I know that when it comes, I embrace it. I'm ready for it. And men, if you ain't ready to date, don't say you're ready to date. Period.
Are the doors of the DMs open?
The doors of the DMs are definitely open.
So, quick question, because I'm not. I just want yes or no, because you said Black love. Are the three of you willing to date outside of your race?
No.
I am open to all races at this point. Like men trash.
That's a whole
We do not endorse that message.
And they wonder why
Just
I'm
from
so fat.
where we're at. I mean,
Can we remove that from the show?
Yes.
Black men are not trash.
Okay.
As we
the
wrap
ones
it,
that's left out
Bronson,
there.
would you be
got
willing
it.
to date outside your race?
I have no intentions of ever dating outside my race.
Amen.
The darker the better.
The sweeter the juice.
Hey,
Hey.
chocolate for the win. Chocolate for the win. So as
Or
we wrap
suck his
up,
caramel.
as we wrap up, I want to say that I believe in Black love, and I know it's out there. So don't get so caught up on social media and all this. You have to do this and you have to do that. Just
Find a person, vibe with them, and grow
Yeah,
it.
right.
Don't hesitate it. Don't stop it. Just let it flourish the way it's supposed to go. When you go in with apprehensions, you kind of stunt the growth.
absolutely.
And also, just know that you have to risk something if you really want to find.
Yeah.
true
You
love.
gotta
Absolutely.
rest.
So your heart got to be open. To
Now, this the
accepting love.
best message you done said today.
All right,
We're talking
y'all.
about
So we want to thank you guys again for watching us on the Classy Exchange. This one actually went live on YouTube, so we will share it to our Facebook page as well. Again, you can find us on Instagram at The Classy Exchange, on Facebook.
We are at Wix Live in Arlington.
So the underscore Classy Exchange on Instagram. Facebook is The Classy Exchange, and YouTube is The Classy Exchange. We again want to thank our guests, Bronson and Jalissa, for coming and showing up today.
As well as thank Live Wix for allowing us to do our podcast here.
Thank you. And you want to sign us off, everybody, with their handles and information?
Jay Briscoe with F40 Athleisure Wear. You can find me on all platforms under F40AW on Facebook, Instagram F40_AW, or Jay Briscoe.
Tanisha Red LE on Facebook, Caramel Red_419 on Instagram.
Book her at the Spa Boutique.
Yes,
She is
booktheboutique.com.
awesome. Say it again.
Booktheboutique.com.
She's awesome on the sugar scrub. And when I went to get my sugar scrub, no, I didn't. On one of my dates with my husband this weekend, I had on F40. So you can wear F40 anywhere. I wore it to brunch with my husband this weekend. My name is Kim Ross Bonner on Instagram and Facebook. All right, guys, we ready to sign off?
Hey, yay!
Thank you for watching the Classy Exchange. Like, comment, and share.
Thank you. Make sure.
We'll be sharing the link from YouTube on our Facebook page.
Yes.
Make sure y'all chime in. Dating in 2022.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we're trying to clean the pool.
Bye. Hey. Thank y'all so much for coming. We truly
Thank
appreciate it.
We're
Y'all
gonna clean the pool.
Yes.
We're gonna clean the
Some
pool in
chlorine.
2022.
Yeah. There's hope out there in 2020.
I gotta let it.
Absolutely.
You got-